Hello everyone, this is Warren Richards from Café Caribbean. I'd like to thank everyone for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I've had plenty of requests to show how to make a good Caribbean soup. So I'm going to show you how to make a chicken and pumpkin soup. This is what you need for a nice winter's night. For a family of 4, 5. Right, so I've got half a pumpkin here. It's a bit too much for 4 or 5. So I'm going to cut this in half. You have to take the middle out, take the seeds out, which I'm going to take out with my hand. So I'm cutting it. I'm going to peel it with a knife. So I'll take the sides off, take the bottom off, just peel it back. Till you get past the green, you can see the yellow. So you know the skin's off. You don't want to go too deep, you don't want to go too thin on it. This is a beautiful soup, this is. You can do it with chicken, you can do it with beef, lamb, but I like the chicken one. And because I'm cooking it with chicken don't take long to cook, so I'm going to cut this as small as possible so that it can break up, because you want it to disintegrate into the soup already. So I'll cut this into little quarters, cut it. Depends what you're cooking it with. If you cook it with oxtail or beef and that, beef takes much longer. Beef takes much longer to cook, so you can cook it in bigger chunks. But as I'm cooking it with chicken, I'm going to cook it in little bits, as thin as possible, really. So I cut that up like that. Cool. Watch your fingers. About that size. So that break down really nice. Right, I'm going to put that into the pot. Then afterwards I'm going to prepare the chicken and get that into the pot. I'll show you how to do that. I'm using half a chicken, half of like normal roast chicken. That take very long to cook as well. But you have to watch it in there, because as soon as it cooks you take it out. Because you don't want it to break up in there like the pumpkin, because that ruins your soup, it goes all stringy. Right, so let's wash this bowl. Now you get your chicken, your nice clean board. I'll pull the skin off. I've got half a chicken here, half a like medium-sized chicken. It's not too big, it's not too small. Cut this end off here. You want it cut quite quick, so I'll cut it out into 2. Right, put that in the pot with the pumpkin. Let's get the skin off, because it's roasting chicken, the skin is just floating and look all oily and that. It's just, I hate it. So I'll try and get as much of the skin off as possible. The only part you find it to get it off hard is the wings. That's why I always use legs. Legs and thighs are the best ones, I think. And it's more flavour in them as well. But you get as much as you can. Cut these ends off. Right, I'll cut this into 3. Right, I'll put that in there. Right, in there as well, I'll chop up some thyme. But like, you don't have to chop it up. You can take a sprig of it like that and put a little bit of string around it and throw that in there like that. But I like chopping it up. Such a lovely flavour, thyme. Put 2 cloves of garlic in there. Just break them up like that. They're disintegrating there as well, so you just take the shell off. Just throw them in the pot. Just like that, yeah. Now water. Don't matter what amount of water you put in there really, but like try and get it just over the top of the meat. Yeah? And now we put that onto the stove. Now we've got the chicken and the pumpkin on the stove, and let that boil together for about half an hour for the pumpkin to break down and the chicken to cook. Meantime, I'll get the rest of the vegetables done. This is yam. This is like similar to potato. It's a little bit firmer than potato. So I'll peel this. You can get this in like nearly everywhere. You can get it in Tesco, Sainsbury's. But if you don't, you can get it in like any grocery shops and the high streets really. As I say, it's quite a firm, well, it's firmer than potato, but it is similar to potato. This is a well-known vegetable in the Caribbean, all the Caribbean islands. Any brown bits you see like that, just cut them out. Another vegetable from the Caribbean, it's breadfruit. This is really nice. I really like this one. And out of all the things my mum used to give me when I was younger, this is the only thing I used to like. Yam, I hated yam. But I've come to like it a little bit now. But say the breadfruit here, it's like green on the outside. Right, this is the heart of it. But you've got to cut this bit out. So you cut around the whole. So you cut that out like that. I'm peeling it, I'm just... you can use a peeler, as I say. But I'm very lazy, and I'll do it this way. Cut this the same size as you cut the yam. And I do put potato in there, but I cut the potato a little bit bigger because the potato cooks quicker than the yam and the breadfruit. Now for the potato, well, I've got a sweet potato and I've got an English potato, right? This one you have to cut quite big as well because this is softer than the English potato. But it's got a slight sweet taste. It gives a nice sweet taste to the soup. See the size there? Compared to the breadfruit and the yam, I've cut these ones a little bit bigger. Now for the potato. I'll peel that with a little knife. Old school way. This has got to be cut quite big as well. I'll tell you another secret to a good soup, good Caribbean soup anyway, is to get one of these, put it in the soup, but don't burst it. You can't let it burst. Just put it on top of it and just let it boil up with a little food and that. Right, I'm going to wash this. Right, so the chicken's cooking and the pumpkin. You can see the pumpkin is breaking down. That's what you want it to start doing. Right, the chicken's will stay in for another 10 minutes or so, so I can get that meat off the bone. So I'll cover that. I've taken the chicken out to cool and to debone it, but in the meantime, I'm going to put the vegetables into the soup. That might just throw it all in. They're all cut different sizes. You might add a bit more water because you want it to be over the top of the vegetables. In the meantime, that's boiling. I'll debone the chicken. I'm deboning it now. Really hard to get every single bone out, but you get as much as you can out. Keep nice big chunky bits in there. So this looks good in the soup. I'll put another ingredient into this soup. You can buy in most supermarkets as well. As a good accompaniment to your Caribbean soup. Got some funny names though for this soup. Sachets. Right, I'll get rid of this. Right, I'll wash my hands. You can get these sachets in these supermarkets. Got Grace's pumpkin soup. Got Island Pride chicken soup. But this is what I use. Thick vegetable soup. It goes nice in the soup. It thickens it as well. But I've got to make some dumplings, which I'm going to do now. Making the dumplings, it's plain flour and a bit of salt and water. That's all it is. And then mix together with a bit of water. So you're making the dough, right? You try and get it, mix it in one hand, yeah? So you can get all the flour from the bottom of the, I should be in a bowl really, but I've got to bring the bowl. You get it all from the sides. You don't want to get both your hands dirty, so just do it with one. Then you can add a bit of flour if you need to. But I think I've got the right consistency if I get all this flour out. This is a battle, mate. But it's a big part of the soup, this, the dumplings. Love the soup for when I was younger, is the dumplings. Add a bit more flour to it, yeah? Off your fingers. That's it there. Want it like that. To make these dumplings, you can make them as big or as small as you like. About this size, I think it'll be alright. So it's rubbing together like that. You can either make them this shape, yeah, or this way. For some reason, put your finger pinching like that, and that goes into the pot like that. I'll make a few more and leave them in the bowl. As I say, they're beautiful, these are. Big part of the soup. Just finish these one. Right, now I want to add these to the soup. So I'm taking the scotch bonnet pepper out. Now I'm going to add, it helps thicken the soup as well, because like, you don't want a runny soup like this. So it helps as a thickener as well. And it's got a bit of flavour in there, it's got vegetables in there as well. So I'll sprinkle it on. You can mix it with water, a bit of cold water, and then mix it in. But I'll mix it in, it breaks up anyway, because of the thyme that's in there. And then I'll mix this in, give it a couple of stirs. So you don't want it to stick together. Because it's got some kind of cornstarch in there. So you have to make sure it don't stick together. And then I can add my dumplings in there and just leave that to cook out slowly. But you see it thickening already. But that's the consistency I want. Now for my dumplings, just lay them on top. Because it's flour as well, that helps thicken it as well a little bit. So you might have to, depending how thick it is, add a little bit of water to it, just for it to cook out. But just lay them on top. They find their way in. Give them a little gentle stir, because you don't want to break the... Then you can tell if you need a bit of water in it. But that feels a little bit alright. That feels not too bad as it happens. So I'll cover that, leave that for 5–10 minutes. Now, soup's nearly ready. So I'll give that a quick stir again. Now I'm going to add the chicken. Wash my hands quickly. Right, we've got the soup now. It's come off the stove. I've just dished it up. Well, I'm going to chop a little bit of spring onion to put on top of it. Just a bit of garnish. Just a little bit. It's a beautiful winter soup. Have a quick taste. I've got a student over from Germany, Daniel. Daniel, come have a quick taste, right?
Okay.
So what do you think? Your first Caribbean soup.
Yeah, it tastes awesome.
Right, so quick recap. Chicken and pumpkin soup. And then chicken, what dumplings, yam, breadfruit, English potato, sweet potato, and there's a little bit of carrot in there as well, and boneless chicken, Roman style.